Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is a break in the rain. It was raining when we started walking, but only slightly, and it's cleared up rather nicely. It is supposed to rain pretty hard this afternoon, but for now, you get a video. I had a lovely time last night. We went to Morton's Steakhouse. I had never been there. My wife had. We went there with Nasty Nathaniel, Pink Camera Magic, First Amendment tests, and his rather charming wife, and had a good old time. The conversation was flowing, as can happen when lubrication has been applied. I did ever so slightly pre-game. We knew there was a lot of traffic, so we ended up leaving a little early to get there, and we got to Morton's at like 6:30, and we were the only ones there, and so we waited in the bar, and I had myself a Long Island iced tea on an empty stomach, and I was good to go. And then, of course, when people showed up, I followed it up with another Long Island, and you know, you gotta keep the party going. Anyway, I can successfully report that I did, in fact, grab Nasty's ass, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. There you go. Maybe that's sexual harassment, but I don't know. Can you really harass the willing? Anyway, it was a good time, good night, and thanks to those fine folks for coming out and meeting me, and it was fun. So, that out of the way, let's talk about free speech. Let's talk about the reason for the First Amendment. Now, as many of these fine auditors will tell you, the First Amendment applies to the government, and they can do whatever the fuck they want on their channels. And absolutely, that's the state of the law. Congratulations, you have stated a truism. For once, you got the law right. But why does the First Amendment exist? Well, it exists to protect your right to speak. That's what it exists to. It exists to protect your right to speak. Now, the Constitution is basically a contract between the government and the citizens. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. And it's saying that the government won't do this to the citizens because the government recognizes that it is important for people to be able to speak freely. Now, the government doesn't say it won't stop other people from impeding your free speech, and you know, that's part of having other freedoms. You know, property owners have freedoms to control speech on their property, and you know, that's part of it. But remember, the point of the First Amendment is to give you, to protect your right to speak. Because having the right to speak freely, to speak your mind, to state your political, personal, religious convictions, is an important part of a functioning republic, / democracy, / whatever it is you're actually voting on, whether it's of a republic nature where you're electing a candidate to enact laws for you, or whether you're directly voting on a ballot initiative. So, if the purpose of the First Amendment is ultimately to protect your right to speak, then why wouldn't you then, if protecting rights to speak from the government is so important, why wouldn't it then also be important to protect the right to speak from other abuses? And I say abuses because the whole point of YouTube is to speak. That's the point of YouTube. It gives the creator an outlet. That's the point of YouTube. The point of YouTube is also to allow your audience to contact you, to give you feedback, positive and negative. That's the point of it. And just like in a functioning government, in a functioning republic, just like it is important to hear the positive and negative criticisms of the government, likewise, to have a healthy, functioning YouTube channel, I think it is important to have free speech, to hear those positive and negative criticisms. If you ever do go into my Discord, you will see a very lively, very happening Discord on a very small channel. I have seen other Discords that are as packed and going, but not in this community. I've been to a couple, and I think one of the big reasons why my Discord is so functional as a place where people can disagree, even with me, is because there's no censorship. We can all learn, myself included, from the ideas presented by others. If for no other reason, I mean, you may be right, but hearing that dissenting opinion may help you to crystallize your own understanding of the situation, and that can be important. Part of the fun of playing devil's advocate is you learn your position better. You learn its strengths and its weaknesses. You learn why, like for example, in the pro-choice, pro-life debate, you learn why everybody's arguing it wrong and nobody's making any inroads. It's because the pro-life side is arguing that the life of the child is worth more, in their opinion, than the freedom of the mother. And the other side is arguing that the freedom of the mother is, in their opinion, worth more than the child. And every argument that each side makes is based on that fact. And of course, they try to scrounge for other statistics to back up their claim. Each side does it. Each side is wrong. The issue is you'll never really reach one side will never convince the other side because it's a value judgment. I like chocolate ice cream better than vanilla ice cream. Oh, well, I like vanilla ice cream better than chocolate ice cream. You're not going to convince the other side that they were wrong. So there you go. So I think people who are relying on, well, I'm not the government, so it shouldn't matter that I am censoring people. I think they're missing the point of the First Amendment, because once again, the First Amendment is there because the framers understood that it is important for everybody to be able to voice their opinion. If you suppress speech, you tend to foment rebellion, which doesn't really translate into the YouTube community, but you might notice that the ranks of people in my Discord continues to grow, and the people who are disillusioned with the hypocrisy of the auditors continues to grow. You may be noticing that. And there's a reason for it. It's because when you silence people, when you disenfranchise them, they look for other outlets to speak. If they can't communicate with you, if they can't take you up on your ideas and hash things out between the two of you, then they will go somewhere else and you will lose them as an audience member. I don't block or ban my trolls. I don't block or ban my trolls for a lot of reasons, but one of the side effects, one of the benefits of it is that I get their comments, I get their interactions, I get their views. That bumps my numbers up for the YouTube rankings. That makes it more likely that other people will see my videos, and there you go. Plus, a lot of times they give me content. So yes, there is a difference between the First Amendment and freedom of speech. You okay? He got a little excited and slipped on he scrabbled on a slick surface. There is a difference between free speech and the First Amendment, but the ultimate goal of the First Amendment is to protect free speech. That's the goal. The reasoning is sound. I was also asked, Nar Warrior. I don't like words being banned. I don't like words being banned because, well, there's a lot of reasons. I have a lot of reasons why I don't like the N-word being essentially banned. And I could lose my channel over it if I said it, etc., etc., etc. So I'm not going to say it. And he said that I've never made a good case for why the N-word shouldn't be banned. And I'll make several. Number one, why do you think that black people are so weak that they can't hear a word? Why do you think that black people are so unable to control themselves that we need to protect them from a word? It's just a word. There's syllables. It's just a word. And you can communicate the same idea without saying the word. If I said, you are an N-word to a black person, I am sure they would get just as upset as if I dropped the full N-bomb with a hard R. Banning the word doesn't ban the idea. If I say, oh my God, he said the N-word, in your head, you know what the N-word is. You said it in your head. What's the difference between you saying it in your head and me saying it out loud? Is it some sort of a magic spell? And just like other words, as soon as they become politically incorrect, oh my. I mean, retard used to be it was a word. This person's mental progress, their intellectual capacity has been retarded. It has been slowed. They are behind the curve. They have the intelligence of a 5-year-old. Their development has been retarded. It was a real word. Idiot used to have an actual medical meaning. Moron had an actual medical meaning. Imbecile had an actual medical meaning. And then we started, oh, I can't say these words. Oh no. Oh no. So what did we do? We picked new words to insult people with that had exactly the same meaning. Oh, you're differently abled. Oh, you have invisible disabilities. Oh, you're handicapable. You're mentally challenged. It's the same insult. It's a different word. It has the exact same meaning. It has the exact same implications. You're just narrowing the lexicon. And what was it? The Ministry of Truth? I believe it was the Ministry of Truth in 1984. They would ban words. And if you can control words, you can control speech. And I am all about free speech. And you know what? Racist people suck. And I don't like racist people. But I would much prefer that we allow racist people to say racist words. Like, take for example, Sergeant Interlide. He drops the hard R N-bomb on Patrick. Now, Patrick, as you may well be aware, is a lily white young man who should not be offended by that word. But the first thing he asks is, "Oh, are you racist?" Well, that's really weird. Who would he be racist against? Would he be racist against white people? That doesn't make any sense. Relax. Come on. Yes, that's another dog. Come on. Hey. Face this way. No, face this way. There we go. All right. Face this way. Come on. I know. Let it go. I know. Excitement. I know. I'm kicking my dogs right now. Interlide. Yeah, so speeching or policing speech, Interlide, the hard R. Yeah, it is just a word. And if you go into other countries, like Niger in Africa, they pronounce it with the straight up, like you would expect a racist from the South to say it. Because that's the way in their language you pronounce those particular syllables. And it doesn't make them racist, obviously, even though they're saying exactly the same word. And you know, all it is kind of a bastardized form of saying black in, what is it, Italian or Latin? One of those. And it's not anything special. All that makes it special is the emphasis that we place on it. And I don't know. Now we have drives to eliminate it from Huck Finn, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and Tom Sawyer. And those books weren't racist. They weren't using the word in a racist manner. But because now all of a sudden the word is taboo and you just can't say it, oh my God. Now they're trying to eliminate it from literature. There's no good reason for it. So that's my case against word policing in general. 1984's Ministry of Truth. banning it from literature. You can't actually change the sentiment by banning the word. And black people, I think, in my opinion, are strong enough and smart enough and sane enough to be able to hear the word and control themselves. So I'm sure somebody will construe that to be racist on my part, but whatever. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.